Hello and welcome back to my channel Health and Wellness with Emma Mentel. It is Wednesday afternoon where I am in South Africa, and we're leading up to the solstice in a few days. And the energy has definitely been building, and I have to say so far not uncomfortably so, but I do hear from some clients and others that they've been experiencing a little bit of push and pull and a little bit of anxiety. So I always think it's a good time to calm and regulate the nervous system, to really find ways to ground yourself and to use those brilliant tools as far as nervous system regulation goes. For those of you who are returning to watch this update, thank you so much for watching. For the new viewers, welcome here. Please subscribe, and I'd love to hear your comments and where you are at and what you find interesting and helpful. So where I'm at now is almost 72 hours into my fast this week, pre-solstice. As I've mentioned in my previous two videos, I really enjoy these significant events in the calendar year or in the astrological year, in the sort of 12-month period to fast, and to use that as a tool to really get deeper into a spiritual sense, but also the impact on my physical body, my mental body, and my emotional body are so significant and so useful and supportive that I enjoy my longer fasts probably more than my shorter fasts. I want to also just mention that if you're not familiar with fasting or longer fast, that it's not a good idea to just jump straight into a long fast unless you're really very comfortable with going without food and understanding your blood sugar and your body's energy levels. But I've just looked at my my blood glucose level, and it's on a 4.4 millimole per liter is the measure that we use in South Africa and in some countries. So completely comfortable. I am experiencing nice strong ketosis. Ketosis is where the body is using stored fat to make ketones, and the fat then becomes the fuel source when we don't have available glucose as a fuel to burn. For me, the indications of ketosis is that I get quite a strong taste in my mouth, almost as if I've just had a strong coffee, and my hunger almost vanishes completely, and I feel really energized, I feel really focused, I feel really uplifted. So some people describe it as a euphoria, and I do have that now and again with my longer fasts, and it seems to really get better the longer and longer my fast goes. So I would say that I'm feeling definitely more focused and more energized compared to yesterday, even though I wasn't tired. I'm definitely feeling more energized and focused compared to 24 hours in. So I use my blood glucose monitor to give me an idea of where I'm at from a physical point of view. I also listen to my body. I use my minerals, and I've just made myself a cup of apple cider vinegar tea that I mix with hot water as a tea. In summer, I have it with sparkling water or cold water. So for me, over the last 2.5 years, I've really developed tools that my body is familiar with. I'm very comfortable with this process, and I can lean into it. I'm not scared that I'm going to run out of energy. But as I said, I use my blood glucose monitor as my check-in for me to know when to perhaps step out of the fast if I'm feeling shaky or unwell, which I haven't, or to just give me a reassurance that there is still plenty energy and fuel sources available for me to do well with my fast. The theme around the solstice I talked about in the recording before the last one, the kind of pivotal points and the kind of challenges that some of us might be experiencing. With a client earlier today, I felt really called to talk about using this solstice and the powerful energies of the full moon and everything that is represented as far as our health and well-being goes, as far as our home goes, there where we feel safe, there where we can sort of ground ourselves, and to also think about our spiritual well-being at this time as something to become quite disciplined about. So whether it's around weight loss, whether it's around inflammation, whether it's around gut health or mental health, or just trying to find a deeper sense of spiritual meaning between something like a fast as a tool and then using other tools that you might be familiar with or comfortable with, one can really become very intentional and quite dedicated and disciplined about where you want to steer your next few days. What would you like to explore more? What would you like to reclaim? It might be reclaiming your health and well-being. It might be reclaiming your sense of power. It might be that you feel the thing that you would like to reclaim the most is a sense of self-worth, or feeling more positive, feeling more inspired. You can choose that word and that sense and write it down, perhaps. And for the next few days, when you look at that word or that theme, you imagine what would it feel like as if that was already true. What would it feel like? What would my future self be experiencing as if I'm already that future self? Everything is already in place. I've already overcome all the challenges. And it's that feeling that accompanies one's intention that creates a whole new force that will help us to move in the direction of that future self. And the theme that I think some people are definitely working with around this time, or an idea to perhaps consider, is abandoning yourself. If you've ever abandoned yourself, your power, your worth, your value, your health, not saying what you feel you want to say, if you've ever abandoned yourself on any level, you can go back to whatever that first situation was where you did this. It could be you as a young child, it could be you as a teenager or a young adult. And you can have a conversation with him or her and say, right, if we had to rewrite the story, Can we choose a different outcome where you stick to your values, where you stick to your intuition, where you trust your gut feeling, and you imagine what it would feel like if you spoke up in those times that perhaps you remain silent, and where you feel that most powerful version of yourself, whether it's around your health and well-being, whether it's around your mental, emotional health, or your spirituality. And I use so many different tools depending on what I feel like on the day for me to feel that I'm nourishing my overall well-being. It might be a glass of water with minerals in it. It might be taking a walk. It might be some deep breathing where I feel that I'm inhaling from the center of the earth and I'm pulling that breath all the way up through my body and exhaling through my heart or through the top of my head, and doing a few rounds of that to feel more grounded. So I find that especially helpful if I tend to overthink, and if I feel that my mind just races. I try and do a few very deliberate and intentional breaths where I feel that I'm anchoring and I'm grounding myself on this beautiful Mother Earth that has been supporting me. And that can sometimes feel just so soothing and so supportive. Also, what I've been doing at night, I don't do it every night, I do try to, but especially during my fast, I go to bed and I really thank my body. I thank my body from top to bottom for doing so well, for being so wise, for carrying me, and for all the wisdom that she's allowed me to gather along the way. So if you can just choose one theme for this full moon and the solstice, perhaps one theme to let go of, a habit that you wish to put down, a habit that doesn't support your well-being that you would like to leave behind, and then one new habit, one new intention that you would like to start with and become quite disciplined about. I think more and more we're going to feel out of kilter and out of balance when we are not going to be honoring our bodies on all levels, when we're going to ignore that little nudge that says, take better care of yourself, please sleep, please rest, please hydrate, please breathe, and we can just get so busy and forget about those important and essential aspects of nutrition, nourishment, and well-being. So as part of today's call, I thought I will draw another card and I'll use the Divine Abundance pack again to see what message there was for the viewers and for myself today. So my previous card, if you remember, was detachment. So today we ask to be shown what we need to know. What is the most important message that we should be considering? What do we need to hear? What should the focus be as part of building up to the solstice from our overall health and well-being point of view? What would the most important aspect be to consider for today? So I'm giving these cards a good shuffle, and I'm trusting that the most perfect guidance will be shown. I'm going to choose a card from the middle of the pack. And the card, the beautiful image, says, right now. The message of this card is stay in the present and don't get too far ahead of the flow. You will soon trust that nothing more will come than that can be handled in each moment. So the right now card is about being very present in this now moment, to not live into the fears and the uncertainty of tomorrow, but to sort of get into that flow. And for me, one of the easiest ways to get into the flow is to listen to music that I find calming and soothing, and to do some breathing, to be out in nature perhaps and just take a few deep breaths, and I feel that I'm just reconnecting with that source of flow and source of that life force that is available to us at all times. A few of the books that I really enjoy working with in my practice, even though it's the focus is nutritional therapy, functional medicine, health overall, but informing all these other aspects of what we are made up of as energy bodies. This is Eastern Body and Western Mind, Eastern Body, Western Mind by Anodea Judith. It's a psychology and the chakra systems as a path to the self. And I find this book, it is so well used. It is such a wonderful book to get an understanding of the chakra systems and what is related to each of those energy centers. And then because I have such a deep interest and curiosity about astrology, I've really always used this book for clients, especially when there are certain challenges that people find they keep repeating. It's called Astrology for the Soul by Jan Spiller, and it's all about the North Node information. So it is a book that I find really helpful if somebody wants to get a better understanding of why they keep on bumping into the same challenges. Why do they experience same cycles repeating? So a way to understand what other considerations they can have to break these harmful cycles or these unhealthy cycles. And then a book that I'm using again with clients is The Life You Were Born to Live by Dan Millman. And this is a guide, the book says a guide to finding your life purpose, but it works essentially on the numerology of your date of birth. So your challenges and your gifts from a numerology point of view. And these three books have enriched my life so much. Sometimes when I'm trying to understand certain patterns and certain habits, this has given me a great context and some things to work on. So I hope that you will go and look up and see if that is something that you're already using or that you would like to use more. And then to close today's session, I thought I will just do the sounds again. I've really enjoyed working with these sound instruments that I have at home. So I'm going to be using the bowl, the koshi chime, and a few other chimes just as a sound. I hope that you find the sound pleasant and soothing and calming the nervous system. So let's give that a go. I'm just going to point the camera down so that you can see the bowls that I'm using. And then for the next one, just want to make sure that that can happen. I'm going to use these chimes. Then this is a slightly smaller bowl, and then I'll use the Koshi chimes. And I've just been finding it so creative to play with the sounds, and something that I have really enjoyed just as a sound, like a form of nourishment. So even combining the sounds. I'm not a sound healing therapist, but I've also over the years really just enjoyed all the different sounds and the soothing calming I also feel that when I use these kind of sounds, that it really clears the space. So if my office perhaps feels a little bit heavy after seeing clients, I will use chimes and sounds like this to chime around the room, and it just feels like it lifts the energy. So if you have something like that at home, I invite you to go and try it. Light a candle every evening for the next few days as a symbol of your deep commitment to your well-being and healing journey. And thank your body every day. Take deep breaths and feel re-energized. And I wish you a beautiful day or evening wherever you are in the world, and I will be catching up with you soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to sharing the rest of my solstice transformation and healing intentional journey with you.